The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the course format that you can expect in the Bachelor of Science and Mathematics program. Listed on your screen are the mathematics courses that you will take as part of your Bachelor's of Science and Mathematics program at Bellevue University. Those listed at the top of the screen are the math core. Those will be taken by students no matter which emphasis they choose. Then you will choose an emphasis that is based on your own personal interests or career goals. As you can see, there are courses listed under each of those emphases to let you know exactly which courses you will be required to take for that particular emphasis. You can expect a very interactive and collaborative environment for your math courses at Bellevue University. Each course includes an asynchronous component, which is typical for an online course. Those are items that you can complete on your own time within the due date. That includes items such as videos that cover the content of the course or reading assignments that cover the content, discussion board questions, homework, and assessments. There's also typically a synchronous component, and the synchronous component are items that are to be completed at the same time as other students. That might be a one-on-one meeting with your instructor or a whole class meeting. Please keep in mind that every effort is made to accommodate everyone's schedules. Again, you will want to make sure that you provide your availability to your instructor when the course begins, and then those meetings are scheduled around everyone's schedule in the course. The primary modes of learning and assessment are Blackboard, Teams, and OneNote, and you will be provided with training on how to use each of those modes. Materials needed will vary course by course, but in general, if you have a digital inking device, which could be a Surface or whatever device you typically use, along with some sort of tablet like a Wacom tablet or Huion tablet, any device that allows for you to be able to digital ink is certainly workable for this program. You also need access to the PDF or hardcover textbook for each of the courses. There are a couple of courses that do require you to purchase access to WebAssign or Hawks, and that is a program for you to complete your homework, but most of the homework will just be done using the textbook. You also should have access to a calculator that can be a TI-83 or greater. I suggest not spending $100 on a handheld calculator, but instead downloading the free application for a Windows or Android device, or if you have an iPhone, you can purchase Graph-In-Calc 83 or Calculator X, and of course you'll want to upgrade to the best version of either of those. A question I get quite often about the program is about digital inking, so I did want to quickly take you through an example of how digital inking is used. As you can see, I'm in a OneNote notebook, and this is a demo notebook for Calculus 1, which is the first program course that you will take for the math program. And you will have access to all of the resources available here. There's a resources page and a notes page, a videos page, and this particular course includes a handouts page, but many of them do not. And you will have access to any of the items there. You will then also have a student page. So that student page is your page, so obviously I've named it Demo Student, but it would have your name there. And in your notebook, you would have notes so that you can watch the videos and then use your digital inking, again, to write right on the screen and to take notes or do the examples along with the video. You will also complete your homework here. So I've given you an example here of a homework assignment done in Calculus 1. So this question asks us to find the limit if it exists, and if not, answer D and E, does not exist. So one thing I want to point out to you is that this is just a screenshot that I've taken from WebAssign. So Calculus 1 and Calculus 2 both use WebAssign for you to complete your homework, but then I ask you to show work on a couple of those questions so that I can check to make sure that you're doing it properly and not just finding the answer online somewhere. So for instance, this question asks me to find the limit as x approaches pi of 5 times cotangent of x. And you'll learn obviously about the content in calculus, but this is basically telling me to take 5 times the cotangent of x, and the cotangent of x is actually just cosine over sine. And again, in this case, I'm just going to plug in, instead of x, I'm plugging in pi. So what I end up doing here is finding that 5 is equal to the cosine of pi divided by the sine of pi. And of course, we all know we cannot divide by 0, and that is why the answer is does not exist. So when it asked me to show work on question 2, that is the work that I would want to show, is that work that I have just shown you here using my own digital inking device. It is not necessary for you to do the screenshot. It is necessary for you to, of course, use the digital inking to show your work. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of how you would use your digital inking throughout the math program. I wanted to include a typical course schedule for the math courses at Bellevue University so that as you consider the mathematics program, you can see exactly when those courses would be offered and in what formats. The first thing I want to point out to you is that MA 215 and CIS 245 can be completed at any point in your program. So while I have them in these boxes at the bottom of the screen that include when you should take each course, just know that you can move around MA 215 and CIS 245 into any term that makes the most sense to you in your schedule. Another thing to point out is all of the courses highlighted in blue are the math core courses, which means it doesn't matter which program emphasis you choose, you will take the courses highlighted in blue. If you're taking the education emphasis, you will take all of the courses highlighted in yellow as well. If you are taking the applied math emphasis, you will complete MA 335 and MA 405 in addition to the math core. The last thing to point out is those 2 boxes at the bottom of the screen that tell you when you should complete each of your courses. So years 1, 2, and 3 for an education emphasis student. Again, you can complete year 2 and 3 simultaneously. I would encourage you not to do that, as those are very tough courses. They are upper level mathematics courses and you don't want to overload yourself. However, the option is there if you need it. If you're in any other emphasis, again, you're going to take MA 205, MA 206, MA 315, and then fill in the rest of those courses. The last thing to point out that is very important is, as you can see from the prerequisite column, MA 315 is a prerequisite for the majority of the remaining courses. So please do be sure when you're sitting down with your student coach to plan out your academic schedule that you complete MA 205, MA 206, and MA 315 in that first year so that you have the freedom to complete the other courses whenever it fits into your schedule. If you have any questions about the mathematics program, the course format, or anything else, please feel free to reach out to me, Professor Kimberly Brame. I am the Mathematics Program Director. My office phone number 402-557-7554, or email me directly, which is the best way, kbrame@bellevue.edu.